Hey, it's Gage, and welcome to my stage. So I know it hasn't been that long between videos. I'm trying to do better about that. Sorry, my nose was itchy. But I just really wanted to talk about my journey, with unmasking and everything. And first, we'll start with the story of my teeth. I was born with soft teeth, like my mother, is a genetic disorder. So we have little to no enamel on our childhood teeth and adult teeth, and no matter how much work we put into it, it just didn't pan out. And they basically just tortured me in the chair for no reason, and then lied to my parents and gouged them for money that they didn't need to spend. uh, I only bring it up because my family has expressed that because there are a lot of rumors that people want to spread about me, especially when it comes to certain substances that I definitely don't do. The only substances I partake of are cigarettes, weed, and alcohol. Thank you. Oh, and caffeine, but who doesn't? uh, and essentially, as I've been unmasking and getting closer and closer with my family, the only people who truly know me, other than the few people out there on the internet who actually know me, because it feels like everyone wants to tell me who I am when I've been who I am. I've been talking about it on Facebook, and part of the reason why I actually felt encouraged to come here is because I crashed Facebook's story. I just been talking vapidly into the void, essentially, because I've been trying to unmask and fight through my selective autism and the white lies to get people to leave me alone, or just shutting down. My mom did it too, and my dad also does it, and so does my brother. Um, But I just really wanted to talk about, myself and where I've been at for a while. And I know I don't have that many subscribers, let alone actually like loyal viewers, other than my family. Thank you. But regardless if this ever makes me any money, I just want to get my story out there. I want to get my art out there, and I want to get the message of like paying it forward. And that's why I have my volunteer service where I want to help people clean their houses, sort their homes, go through their chores, or maybe I'm just someone to talk to, and I'll try to listen more than I talk, because one of the biggest things is I've been getting through my selective mutism and with my bipolar disorder and my autism and neurodivergency. There's like a certain level where I want to be understood, I want to be heard, but I understand that that goes both ways. You know what I mean? And I don't mean to call anybody out or anything, but there's a lot of people in my generation who seem to think it's some sort of excuse. It's like an excuse, it's like, oh, I have bipolar disorder, I'm just allowed to go off the handlebars. And it's like, no, no, I have bipolar disorder, and even if I get upset, I'm allowed to get angry, but no emotion is good or bad. However, that's how you go about it. And oh god, I am so self-conscious. I know you might not think so. I've had friends like my friend Johnny say I shouldn't be, uh, but because of like my scars and I'm like relatively thin, uh, people make a lot of comments and judgments about me, like the teeth, like I was saying earlier. Even my dad accidentally did it a lot too before he found out the truth. They would be like, "Oh, your teeth are awful. Oh my god, do you not take care of your teeth? Oh my god." And like they're just ridiculing me for my teeth or like something or another. And I'm just sitting here, a small child, like, "I'm sorry." And eventually I figured out what the problem was before they did, but no one ever really listens to me. My family's gotten better and better about listening to me, especially because I I more or less had to give up my life to be there for them and actively like step up and take more of a role in the household when I was 9 years old, cleaning and being there for my brother. My dad was busy working, and then my mom was going through a lot, and that's her story. I think I've said some about it, and she's about comfortable with how much as I've said, so I don't wanna like throw them under the bus, but your boy's been through some shit. And one of the funniest things as I smoke some of my medicine is I was talking about this on Meta, is the first time I smoked weed, I actually felt like a person. And it felt like that joke where everyone else is like high, like on weed. Meanwhile, I'm like, hi, I'm Gage. I feel like I can finally talk to people because I used to be such a recluse. But then when I get high or I get a little intoxicated, I'm like, oh, hey, I can talk. I know things. Hi, my name's Gage. What's up? And I don't know, it gets weird because then everyone just wants to like make fun of me or make me the butt of the joke, or there's like wannabe alpha males who are like, oh, he seems like a cool guy, so I gotta piss on his Cheerios in order to let everyone know I'm the cool guy. And I really, really know what I'm talking about because that's kind of who my dad is. He pulls back a little bit. He's more of a gentleman than that. But I swear, Dad knows that he raised me to be a gentleman, but a leader amongst men, you know, what every father dreams of. Meanwhile, my father wants to be a leader amongst men and tries to piss in my Cheerios. And I call him out on it, and it's so funny because him and my mom are polar opposites. Like, oh wow, so surprising they got a divorce. They're polar opposites, but they do the same thing where they're like, listen here, you little shit. I'm your parent and you love me and you'll respect me, so I don't care if you're right. You'll not talk to me that way. And I'm like, oh, okay, wow, alright. Trump me even though I'm right. But thank you for saying I'm right. I guess I could be more respectful. Okay. But so often, and more in a lighthearted tone than that. More lighthearted than that. But yeah, my mom, she's like, I'm your mother. You were right. But you will not talk to me that way. And she laughs at this. She laughs at this pantomiming, by the way. She laughs at it. She's just like, oh, yeah, that's me. That's me. But then I told her, I was like, that's what Dad does. But then my dad likes to push my buttons. My mom doesn't like to push my buttons and get my goat or whatever. She doesn't like to upset me. My mom is the opposite. She is like, no, I love you. I'm not ever trying to upset you ever. Because she actually has said some stuff before or, like, confused me or been confused. And we're both like, what's going on? And then my mom and I figured it out. My dad, oh God. My dad is like a self-made man. Like, his family did right up until they didn't. I won't say too much about my family because I do like to talk a lot. But there's a certain degree where people from his generation are so sure of themselves, even in their flaws. And I'm not saying you have to fix everything, and I'm not saying that people have to be perfect or that you can't have flaws, right? It's actually one of my biggest problems where people point out a flaw or two in me and are like, well, you're a shitty person because you have bipolar disorder, or you're a shitty person because I think you're a psychopath. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'm going to go sleep butt naked and not think about that. So I do get that mentality where you have to, like, hold on to your core center of who you are, but it shouldn't be at the cost of relationships with people you want in your life. Because, like, I've cut ties with friends and, like, exes solely because they want it one way or the highway, and the relationships go both ways because there's two people there. Whether it's a family, friend, or a romantic relationship, it goes both ways. I want to be heard. You want to be heard. I give, you give. I take, you take. Give and take. And people are like, I don't like the give part. Just give me. I like the give part when you give it to me. And so they're just like takers. And I don't like to use parasite mentality, but that's really what it is. It's like a parasite mentality. Like those little parasites that latch onto a tongue's fish and eat the fish's tongue. And the poor fish has no idea that its tongue is now a parasite. And don't get me wrong, I know the difference between a parasite and symbiosis. Symbiosis is when the creature is actually beneficial to the host, and a parasite is actually harmful and has no benefit. And like I was saying on Meta or Facebook, I don't know, people switch it back and forth when they talk about it. before I broke that, I've just really been talking about the fact that, like, my whole life I've been trying to take off the mask. I've been trying to take off the mask. Like, hey, I'll pretend to be a fool and a funny man or whatever, like my dad, but I'm actually really smart and intellectual. And then they just put the mask back on and they're like, no, be funny. We don't like it when you're smart. Be funny. And I'm like, I can do both. They're like, no, just be funny. It gets really upsetting, especially when I'm a very poetic person. I've even have videos about my poetry on here, and I've been wanting to do more, but I don't know. It's like the more artistic and artsy fartsy and touchy feely that I am, the more people hate on me and just want to call me gay and a girl. Like, I'm a dude. Like, by all means, I probably could have been trans or non binary, but the way it's always worked for me, and don't get me wrong, this is just how I vibes with it. I am so in touch with being a girl, but I like being a guy. So I always thought that if I was a girl, I would have wanted to be a guy. But since I am a guy, I'm kind of cool with this. You know what I mean? It's almost like the best of both worlds, right? At least how I see it. So I've always kind of saw myself as more non-binary or gender fluid. But when I am observed, I'm a dude and I'm a gay dude, you know? I've never really cared that much past that because in my own head, in my own mentality, it doesn't really fucking matter for other people. Don't get me wrong, I do understand that, and I keep joking about this with my trans friends on Facebook, and they keep making jokes too. Like we all start seeing this trend where everything they said about us gays, they're saying about the trans people now. Every rhetoric, every joke, every propaganda point that was said about the gays is now just being taken and dragged and dropped like some sort of adjective for trans hate, and it's so weird. Like the first time I saw it, I actually made a joke. I was like, please tell me I'm not the only one who sees this. And I said all that I said earlier, and oh my god, yeah, there are so many gays and non-binary people and trans people who are like, oh yeah, no, we've seen it. And there were some people who didn't know that. Actually, there were some people who didn't know that a lot of what they're saying now about our poor trans and non-binary friends, that they were like, I have boobies, I have to hide them. They were saying about us gays not that long ago. One of my favorite ones is like, smoking weed makes you trans. That was the thing back in high school when I was a kid. Well, when I was younger. Not only did smoking weed make you gay, it made you gay for your cousin, and it was just like a Canadian propaganda commercial. Like, oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, sometimes the world breaks my brain because they want to go fake news to real things and then pretend real things are fake news. And like so many of us know the truth, and then they just want to shut us up and tell us to comply. And then everyone wonders why I develop selective mutism and bipolar disorder. Because I don't know, because I've always been very, very worried with my agoraphobia, and I have a lot of social anxieties because like I am so fucking aware of everything all the fucking time. That's why I have the headphones. I could just be talking to you to my phone, but if I didn't have my headphones on, I'd be listening to my dog, I'd be listening to my other dog, I'd be listening to the movie that I'm watching in the background, Sweetie Todd, and if I didn't have my, what is basically called autism headphones now, what I found out with my group on there, and all those lovely, lovely people and all the research I've been doing about that, same thing with the bipolar disorder, I've needed my headphones since childhood. I even talked to my family about it, and this isn't the only affidavit I have is my headphones. That would be hilarious. I'm like, oh, I need my headphones. I must be autistic. No. I have like full-blown meltdowns because I need my music. I don't want to be aware of this situation right now. It happens with my dad, who, mind you, he used to be a bit louder back in the day. He's calmed down, but he may have had a hand in my bipolar disorder. It's fine. We forgive our parents for what they do not understand. If, sometimes I don't understand something, I don't want someone to come at me. Unless they were like a full abuser, I won't out him right now, but I have one in the family, and let me tell you, my affidavit for that, my validation, was when I was starting to talk about that more as an adult, because I tried to confront the abuser, and he didn't care. And so many other people in the family came out of the woodwork to be like, oh, you're not the only one. And we're like, and by the way, it wasn't like molestation. It was nothing like that. No, it was like a like hitting, like belittlement and like ridicule and shit. But yeah, I wasn't the only one. I wasn't the only one. And so even though I think I got the brunt of it, as far as I know, the fact I wasn't alone, I kind of sit with that, especially because I protected my little brother from him. I was like, you are not gonna hurt him. I'll take your bullshit. I'll beat you up if I have to. I'm like 10 and he's like 6 years older than me or whatever. Like I always say, I've never played the victim card. I don't use it as an excuse. I have thought it's really unfair that I'm bipolar, neurodivergent, autistic. Possibly autistic. Neurodivergent, bipolar for sure. And I have to be so on top of myself that my bipolar group talks about this a lot, where sometimes you even get gaslit because you're so used to when you're irrational that when you're actually right, people will take advantage of you because of our big emotions. And then because we want things to work out, and then like me, I'll meet you in the middle. I'm totally willing to overlook that I might be right just because I want to make things up with you. I want things to be all copacetic and okay. And then all of a sudden, and I hear this too a lot with the autistic, neurodivergent, bipolar disorder people. Oh, and bipolar people. There's a little bit of an overlap and difference between the two, but yeah. Anyway, where they, like a little bit later, I'll come at you with every little thing that I thought about the situation that was off. And no one likes that. Everyone's like, so what, you're just sitting here nitpicking me from afar like you're trying to grasp at straws? And no, dude, I've had people try to grasp at straws with me before, where they're just like looking for things. That's not what this is. This is literally like, so yeah, I thought I might have been irrational, but now that I thought about it, I actually realized you were in the wrong, or you were wrong about something. And, we have a strong sense of justice, and I try not to be a social justice warrior. Anytime I sound or think or feel like a Karen, I back the fuck off. I jump off that train. But there is a certain moment where I do want justice. I want justice. I've been wrong in a lot of different ways by some people, and I don't mean to do anything wrong, but there's a moment where I'm like, this isn't okay. What you've done isn't okay. What I said or my meltdown or blow up might not have been okay, but your reactions or how you're treating me now, especially when someone's known me for a long period of time, it would be like my family abandoning me, which is actually a part of my trauma. I think I've talked about it on here before in this, like, where they actually lied to both of us, and I had to, like, super sleuth fucking detective, oh, I forgot the other girl's name, but, or Dirk Gently, my way through with all the things they were saying about me and thought about me in that place. And I'm very open about it, even though people try to use it against me, but they tried to say I was a paranoid schizophrenic with bipolar disorder, or manic bipolar disorder. And I'm pretty sure I'm just bipolar disorder, manic depressive maybe, neurodivergent for sure. I've still been looking to get into an autism test, but it's really hard to get one as an adult, especially when I've been getting support from the family, but there doesn't really seem to be a lot of bread coming my way, you know, the little teddy green paper stuff. So I'm looking into it, and through my mindful meditations and pontifications and 17 journals and more, honestly, it's like infinite journals. I've been writing and doing my research and thinking about these things and trying to be a man of infinite patience and trying to be a gentleman, even though I don't think I'm very gentle, and trying to be a kind person. And people always say, Gage, you are kind. And I'm like, no, once you accept it, you stop trying. So I always want to be a kind person. So I'm always trying to be a kind person. So yeah, I don't want this video to be all melancholy and everything. I was just really sitting with a lot of thoughts tonight, and like I was saying on Meta, and like I wanted to talk about on here, and this might be a long video, I've been doing a lot for my channel and my online presence and for my art. I've been getting into different groups online. I've been getting different clients to try to help them clean their houses, do chores. If you need a second pair of hands or just someone to sit there and listen to you, I'm your guy. My services are free, but my time is limited. I have not figured out time travel or teleportation. However, if you can get me there, I'll get there. Greater Vancouver area extended to Portland. I actually had to start today. Today's actually my day off. Unless I get any emergency clients. I've gotten some emergency clients before where I'm checking my inbox and someone's like, "Hey, can you talk? I'm lonely." And I'm like, "Oh, how lonely are you?" Because I'm not gonna out anybody, but I have talked to some people who were kind of suicidal. And I know that's a trigger word for you, YouTube, so I hope that's okay if I say it at least once. Because they weren't, like, gonna do it. No, like myself and my neurodivergency, sometimes you kind of romanticize the idea of not being here anymore. I did it all throughout high school. I legit thought I would be gone by 25. So I've been alive for 6 years longer than I ever thought when I was 17. And I remember I had friends and partners, boyfriends, that would ask me what's so significant about the age of 25. And I would just tell them, I don't know. I just always thought I just wouldn't live past the age of... Technically, I thought I wouldn't live past the age of 17. But then after I did, I had to move the date to 25. So it just became like an arbitrary, like, oh yeah, it's just when I'm gonna die. And I didn't really believe in it. It was just like this weird romanticization that I would be gone and like everyone would have to think about these things that I think about because now I'm no longer here to appear okay. So I talked to them about these things, and I've talked a lot of people down into a better mentality, especially with the fact of, and this is what really got me to not, because I'm a survivor. I'm a suicide survivor. I don't know if I mentioned that on here. I have on my ARG and my Facebook, and sometimes I get confused with where I've said what. But it's something my family, and I remember distinctly my dad and my Aunt Patty saying, which was, it's a long-term solution to a short-term problem. And I was born into a family that wasn't sure if my grandfather on my dad's side actually did that when I was born. So I was born into the world, and then he died, and they're not sure if it was an accident or if he did it on purpose. So I've always sat with that, and the fact that you can feel so up inside that you do that. And we've all seen those videos or heard those stories where the person tried, and then right at the last second they're like, oh wait, you know, like pretend the top of the video is like the ledge, and they're like, oh, I wanna live, and they're holding on like, I'm gonna not die. Yeah. They make that decision. And I'll share this because I was sharing it actually in my BPD group. A lot of people were liking it. It made me happy. But I love heights. It's actually one of my calming things. I actually had to stop free climbing buildings and stuff. I used to do some free climbing. I used to climb up really high on high rises, bridges, buildings, really tall trees. I've done so since I was a kid. And I had to stop. Because when my family found out, they were like, that's really dangerous. And I was like, I know. And they're like, you need to stop doing that. And you would have thought they would have looked into it more. But yeah, I remember I had to promise my little brother to stop doing that. But I love heights. Like, I love Ferris wheels and roller coasters. I just love being up high. It's like the movie Memories of Nobody with Senna. She gets on top of the table on the high wire. Spencer. And then she wants to go on the Ferris wheel because everything looks different from high up. Just thinking about it puts me at ease. The worst part is, like I told my brother, sometimes when I'm really high up, I still have the thought of, wow, you'd probably die if you jumped from here. And he always laughs. We always laugh. But those are like the dark thoughts you have, you know? Oh my god, you just have to live with them. You just have to live with them, especially since I've really been doing my holistic coaching or my holistic unconventional therapies or being a holistic doctor. I always say that one last because I don't have a license. I am an amateur psychologist at best. I have been through a lot. I've seen a lot. I've done a lot of research and study. Not a license. I have no license. I have no license. I could probably go to school with how much I know, and I've been looking into it. But when I'm offering you my help, anything past helping you clean up your home and move and stuff, remember, I don't have a license. I don't know license. This is literally mano a mano. We make an agreement, we write it down, we make a video, we shake hands, and we go, this is the agreement, you know? Like, if I was moving you, you go, get this stuff in the truck by this time, please try not to bang anything up, right? Obviously. I have moved a lot of people more than I'd like in my lifetime, because, like, there was actually a saying when I was growing up, like, by the time you're 30, you'll realize one thing, taxes suck, and you have to help a lot of people move. I've helped my mom move, I've helped myself move, I've helped exes move, I've helped friends move, I've helped my dad's ex-girlfriend move, I've helped a friend recently move. Oh, I helped one of my mom's friends move once too. And like I've helped so many different people move that like I could do my own moving company essentially. But one of the reasons why I've been doing a volunteer service and making sure people know that my services are free is because I know people don't got any fucking money. I'm comfortable thanks to my dad, but I ain't got no money to myself either. And so I've been hoping that as I pay it forward and get the message out there, and I'm really excited about this. I've been using advertisement from the word of mouth. Um, Friends, family, my current clients, one of the only things I've been asking is like, oh, hey, give me a shout out. Like, right? Like, tell people about me or let them know my services are out there and are free and what I do. Sorry, I got the hiccups. I think it might be acid reflux with my teeth. And so far it's been going pretty well. My Aunt Jody, to only use her first name, uh, she really helped me. She got me another client. And then, like I said, I get a lot of, I guess you can call them randos online. I felt so bad because sometimes when I'm, like, kind of on my me time, because I need to focus on me, you know, you can't save the whole world in one day and never focus on yourself. Uh, I'll miss some messages, and then they don't get back to me, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, wayward soul that actually reached out to me as I told you to. I'm here, but you caught me when I was actually busy and not looking at my black mirror, otherwise known as the phone. By the way, my hands are dirty. This is from the hair dye, which I keep forgetting to talk about. I think I mentioned it in the last video. I'm not sure. I'm very happy and proud of it. I think my hair looks very cute. I did it all by myself. Go me. Split dyes are hard by yourself. I've been friends with hairdressers, and they actually tell me it's one of the hardest because of bleeding. So I'm so glad the black didn't overtake the purple. And the purple should be fading into a pink. And I might choose different colors, or I might just stick with this for now. Oh, I also got the back. I don't know if you can see it, but I also got the back. So, you got the back. It's all purple too. You see that? It's all purple too. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm sorry if you can't, but rest assured, it's purple. And I don't lie. If anything, one of my biggest problems in life is I'm way too open and honest. And it's because my whole life, people try to go, no, you're lying. And I'm like, how could I be lying? I'm a realist. I meet reality where reality meets me. So I don't lie. What happened is what happened. And don't get me wrong, I have an eidetic memory, but even my memory is subject to errors. So one of the biggest errors I do with my memory, and I have like an eidetic memory, not like always with numbers, but like with my core memories and like stuff that happens, I will remember the room, the location, what happened, where you stood, where I stood, and what happened. For some reason, I might age us up and down. I do that a lot to myself, and I've heard this is kind of like a trauma response. But so, like, for instance, I had to be told that when everything went down that I was 9, because I kept thinking I was 12. Yeah, my dad caught me on this one, actually. I had to give it to the old man. Good thing his memory's still good. But yeah, he caught me in it. I kept saying, yeah, when I was 12 and all that stuff happened with the family, and I was taking care of the house, while he was working. And he was like, Gage, I'm sorry, but you were 9. I was like, oh. He's like, yeah, you were 9 when that started. And I might talk about it more as I open up more and unmask more and stuff. And I'm sorry for using substances while on camera. I do want to make a point to talk to all the addicts out there that this is like my medicine, and if you see me drinking, it's just to help me loosen up and take off the mask. There's a lot of people out there who've been very understanding, and I've dealt with alcoholism in my family, so do not get me wrong. I am not going down that route. Sorry. I messed up my words regardless if I'm high or a little tipsy. So anyway, yeah, I really sit with you guys because people treat me like that anyway. They treat me like I'm shooting up, or I'm doing meth, or God knows what, or fentanyl, or whatever. Like, just recently, I found out one of the reasons why people think I do meth or fentanyl is because it's about $20 to get a thing of my weed. It's all in my Dragon Ball, my 4-star Dragon Ball for Grandpa. The dead one I was talking about, who may or may not have unalived himself, I think is the new terminology. It's all my weeds in here. But comes in these cute little jars, and it's like $10, so I can get 2 for 20, or I can buy 1 for 10 and then buy a pack of smokes that I totally don't need. And apparently it's about $20 for some fentanyl or whatever, and that's how little I know about it. I know about the Phenibens, and I know about the medical grade fentanyl, because just recently someone I know was being given some of that by the hospital, so it was like legal, right? It was like a pain derivative or whatever. And so like I know about these drugs, but I'm just like, I'm not this addict that you think I am, and it's almost actually entertaining after a certain degree. Don't get me wrong, I hate the Easy A-esque rumors, like from the Scarlet Letter to the movie Easy A with Emma Stone. Love Emma Stone, especially in that show Maniac with Jonah Hill. I think it's Jonah Hill. I'm just like, wait. Like, just recently, I had an ex-friend insinuate that I was apparently so obsessed with him and his family that I was going to kill them and then kill myself. And all I could think to myself is, I have my art, I have my online career, I have my business and volunteering work that I wanted to do, I have my family, I have an actual paying career job that I would like to obtain one day without getting fired for just weird, spontaneous reasons. I have so many other things to live for. The fact that you think you're this important in my life is actually quite entertaining. And I'm not gonna lie, there's a certain degree where, like, I even told him, I'm like, alright, you kind of seem like a joke to me right now, because they're so paranoid. They seem like a paranoid schizophrenic. And that's why it's kind of funny to me, because I'm like, you want to say I'm a paranoid schizophrenic when you were acting more paranoid than I am. Sending police to my house when I'm with my mom on Christmas and I have to talk to them on the phone and the police officers agree with me and are like, oh, it's okay, sir, this is a civil matter. The most that they could do is like a restraining order, but that doesn't mean anything. You really find out who people are at the end of it all. And I was really sad at the time, but I was like, yeah, it's okay, right? But it's around Christmas, and then my ex-buddy gets me annexed from my job. I don't know what he's told them, but then he's trying to insinuate that just because I was trying to get in touch with our mutual manager slash coworker through his children, who are the only numbers I had, I didn't even have his number. So I texted them to literally just get a hold of their dad, literally saying, hey, can you talk to your dad or can I do? Because I didn't want my friend doing what he did. And then this is just an example of the bullshit people do. They control the whole narrative. And then they try to say this stupid thing I hate of, oh, there's two sides to every story. And I always say, I'm like, yeah, there's two sides to every story. The truth and the liar. So, I always say the truth and nothing but the truth. Like, I'm in court 24/7 because of all my trauma and insinuations about me my whole life. So, unless, sir, you want to tell me I have decided to just spontaneously start lying for no reason, maybe the guy you're backing and the people they, for whatever reason, just believe with no evidence could possibly be the liars? No. And at this point, it can't possibly always be my fault. I have changed parameters. I have changed my behavior. Tried harder. I'm still trying harder. You can ask any of my family. Literally, they're my affidavit. I've been doing so well to meet people in the middle, doing so well not to have a blow up or a meltdown, depending on what rhetoric you want to use. And I still have moments, and growth is not linear. The vine does not look back upon its growth, it only continues forward. But humans are flawed. So trying to take me as some sort of perfectionist who has no flaws is quite ridiculous to me. Because that's the other side of this, that either people want to say I'm crazy or I need severe psychiatric help, like they're using fucking therapy like a weapon, or I'm a vapid mansplaining male, which just feels so sexist, especially because I'm gay and more non-binary. I just present as a dude because I'm cool with that, but no one ever cares to get my side of the story. So I guess thank you for bearing with me for 40 minutes. I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like that was enough of that. I still got 2 hours till my official bedtime, because like I said, Friday's Day is all mine. I get pizza, get to hang out. Not really sure what I'm gonna do with myself. I might just vegetate, because last time I worked out, I hit the weights too hard. It's that body dismal. I just look thin and fucking God. It's all the ridicule my whole life. My mom and people keep telling me, you need to talk to yourself nicer. And I was like, but I'm stupid and crazy and I need to shut up. And they're like, Gage, please stop. And I say that as a joke. Like, I had to tell my brother before I sign off, because he got upset when I do that. And I was like, Dylan, I don't actually think those things. I repeat them because that's the stuff I've heard, I'm a bundle of sticks, but F-A-G-G-O. And, sorry, I swear a lot. I'm a sailor. My dad, I get it from him. I don't mean to blame him or use him as an excuse. It's just the explanation. But yeah, it's like, or this one, I'm too girly to be a man, and I'm too manly to be girly. I'm too straight acting to be gay, and I'm too gay to hang out with the boys. And then before I started vibing more with the non-binary trans crew, even they were kind of hating on me for a while because I'm a cis male, or I present as a cis male. And a lot of my friends on Facebook and Meta now, we're all cool. I joke with them, they joke with me, we're all good now. But I grabbed for a while, but even they were like, ah, and I was like, ah, and they were like, ah, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. You guys are afraid of me, and I'm afraid of you because of the way people treat us. And they were like, oh, he gets it. Like, no joke, that's the vibe. Like, there's actually a couple of people I talk to on there that's like, I think they're kind of flirting with me, and I'm like, dude, I mean, sorry, girl, stop. So I didn't mean to gender them. I was just doing a bit. I'm just so happy, and I just want to continue to be happy, and I don't mean to blame people for my misery, but it's like misery loves company, and it's like when I actually find like happiness, and I'm like on my way to better. Spencer, please, I will stop talking to myself and pay attention to you. I swear he only does this to get my attention. I have ADHD, dog. I cannot hold a thought when you do this. I just want better. I just want better, and I want him to stop licking, inviting, and grooming himself. So, Gage's Stage signing off. Remember to blow me up. I don't really care about the money. It'd be cool. I'll pay it forward, and I'll buy everyone tacos, and maybe an apartment.